Hi guys, it's Abu Pasha here. It's been 7 or maybe 8 weeks since I last made a video, and there's been a very good reason for that. And the reason is I've been shopping for another property to add to my portfolio, a buy-to-let property, and it took a lot out of me. It took a lot of time. I was also working full-time in my 9-to-5 job, so I had to do the property search in my spare time. And yeah, it took a lot out of me. I spent a lot of hours, a lot of sleepless nights. I even made myself ill. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through what happened in the last 7 weeks and what the final result was. It was a good result, but an expensive result, let's put it that way, but all will be revealed. So I think the best way to do it is for me to show you the properties that were viewed, the offers that were made, the offers that were rejected, as well as some video footage as well of some of the properties, so you get an idea of what we were dealing with. And this will also help you guys should you wish to buy in the northeast, which is where I was looking. It will help you understand the property market over there in terms of what sort of prices are realistic. These days, realistically, what I found is that in the northeast at least, you'll be lucky if you get about 12%, 11%. And that's simply because of the way the prices are rising. To give you an idea, where I'm looking in the northeast, in Darlington and surrounding areas, Teesside, prices have risen something in the region of 20 or 30% in the last year or so. The land registry is not yet showing these figures up because those sales have not yet completed. Some sales are taking 6 months, 9 months to complete. So just give it until September 2021, and then we will have a true reflection of where house prices have been in the last year or so. The issue is that because everyone is going mad for property, they just want to buy everything. Because of the amount of demand of property and the amount of sales and transactions that are going through, mortgage brokers, lenders, solicitors, estate agents, right throughout the chain are absolutely rammed full of work. They can't handle it. They can't handle the demand. Some properties are being sold in 3 hours. Properties that would have previously taken a year to sell are selling in like 1 week. Properties that would not sell for the asking price a year ago are now selling for well above the asking price. Normally a house purchase would take 3 months, 2 months sometimes. Now it takes about 6 months. In early March, I took the decision that we're going to go shopping for properties. And it took me maybe a week or so to basically get in the groove of understanding what is good value and what is not good value. Because the housing market's changed. It's changing real fast now. So if I'd gone back, say 18 months ago, I could aim for like maybe between 15 and 20% ROI, return on investment. Now you're aiming for about maybe 12%. And actually the ROI, I was dropping the ROI as I was going through the weeks. Now, the first thing that I've got to tell you is that I work with a company up north, and the owner of that company is nice enough to do viewings for me. I was shortlisting properties in the northeast using Rightmove. I also used Zoopla as well, but really it was predominantly Rightmove. And after I shortlisted them, I put the details of that property through a spreadsheet that I have, and that spreadsheet actually helps me calculate the return on investment, the amount of money that's going to be involved should I purchase it. In the event that I'm doing a refinance after the refurbishment, if there's a refurbishment, how much money I'll have left in the deal. It calculates everything for me. So let me just quickly show you that spreadsheet and what it looks like. So this is the spreadsheet. You can see pretty much what it has. It has the address, the web link, but this is the more crucial part. It's got the asking price, offer price, the deposit, the mortgage amount. If there's a tenancy contract that's going to be put on the property, then how much that is. You've got stamp duty. All that is calculated automatically, conveyancing costs, the refurbishment amount, and it also gives you the total startup cash. So for example, to buy this property at that time in Liverpool, bear in mind this is 18 months, 2 years ago, whatever, I would have needed £15,700. Now you'd probably need double that. You have like the rent expected, and in this case it's £475. Any ground rent, service charge, etc. Insurance here would be £18.33, and you can see that the return on investment is 23%. These types of deals don't come up now. The market's completely changed. You are not going to get 23%, not going to happen. You can see that if I just enter a few details into the spreadsheet, it just spits out a figure like here, 23% ROI, and it calculates that for me. And when you're doing a buy, refurb, refinance, a BRRRR, we can use this page on the spreadsheet. You can see you've got the asking price, offer price, the refurb cost. The deposit is calculated automatically, so is the total startup cash. The ARV, the after refurb value, is input here, and then it automatically calculates the refurb mortgage amount, etc. So anyway, this spreadsheet, it calculates everything for me. So when I see a property on Rightmove, I just pump in the figures in here and it gives me an ROI figure here. And this helps me shortlist the best properties, the most profitable properties. What tends to be the case is that if you're a newbie and you don't have the spreadsheet or anything like it, what you will do is that you will go and see a property and you'll say, oh, this looks nice. A lot of newbies, they have absolutely no idea about the figures. They don't know what the return on investment is. They just see a property and say, oh, well, this looks good value. It looks nice. We'll take it. And for this reason, what's happening is some properties are being sold for a ridiculously high price. And I was coming across this, and I'm going to go through in detail later, and I just couldn't understand why anyone was offering these types of prices. It just didn't make any sense. So what I would do is I would go into Rightmove and I would take a look at a whole bunch of properties in the area that I'm focusing on. So this property here, this was Huntley Street, Darlington, on for £65,000. We actually did view this, and I don't know if this sold or not. I mean, it's just gone off the market, so it could either have been sold or the owner has just taken it off the market. So this would have been one of the properties that we shortlisted where, in terms of the return on investment, it basically worked. It made sense, and you can see the pictures. I'm also going to show a video of what the viewing looked like, so you get an idea of this property. The problem with this particular property was that the tenant was not a good tenant. Don't ask me why, just trust me on that one. The tenant was not a good tenant. And the other thing also that is, and this is more important, the property had cracks, subsidence in the back of the property. So that would have cost a lot of money to sort out. I never even made a bid on this. Now, the next property that was to be viewed was this one here. This was in Bishop Auckland. And what had happened is that I spotted the property. I made an arrangement to view on the 15th of March. And by the time the 15th of March came, the agent told me, sorry, the property's been sold. So it got sold within 7 days. So just to clarify that, it got sold within 7 days. And this is the first time I was doing viewings. Now, there was also another property, and this is the first offer I made on any property in this round, a property on Eastbourne Road. This property came on the market on the 27th of February, and I arranged a viewing for mid-March. The problem is that when I phoned up the agent and said, let's do the viewing on this date, they said it's going to be sold by then. So what I did was I had to make a bid without a viewing. So sight unseen, all I'm doing is looking at these pictures. I'm saying, right, these are the pictures. This is it. This is all I've got. So I looked at these pictures and I thought, right, I'll make an offer. Now, Eastbourne Road is a really nice road, and it's between Amazon warehouse and the train station and the town centre. It's in a fantastic location. This is the road that I wanted right from the get-go. I did not view this property, and I put in a bid of £61,000. It got declined. I don't know if it was because someone came in with a cash offer, or maybe someone came in with a higher offer. I don't know, but all I can tell you is 61,000 got declined. I then arranged more viewings, the 17th of March. So now I was beginning to get a bit more aggressive, and we booked 3 viewings. So this was Lewis Road, yep, 65. Now, offers in excess of £65,000. This property, it was all nicely refurbed, you can see from the pictures, but there was an issue with the roof. The roof apparently was leaky, and it would have costed roughly £3,000 to £4,000 to fix. And because of that, I couldn't really shoot for a high price. I offered £73,500. Now, bear in mind, they're saying offers in excess of £65,000. I offered 73.5, and my offer was not the highest. I knew that the roof had an issue, £4,000 fix, but I still offered 73.5 because for me, I felt that it was worth it. It was fully refurbed. We could have just let it out real quick. £73,500 I offered. £65,000 asking price. Still didn't get it. And that's when I knew this is going to be tough. Next property, Wolverston. £80,000 asking price. I offered £82,000 for this. The pictures make it look really good, but this is in a really bad condition and it needs to be completely renovated. It's a big property. The refurb budget of this was £27,000. £27,000 refurb, £82,000 offer, £80,000 asking price. I didn't get it. And this sold, I think, within 10 days of coming to the market. Right, next property here, Skipton Road. This is the one that really hurts and really bugs me, because there's a story to this. The property is on a really nice street. This is in Billingham. There's a kind of street that movies are filmed on. That's the kind of street this was. Beautiful. Even the guy who I work with up north, when he stepped out into the garden, he said, oh, this is a nice garden. Basically, it needs to be refurbed. Beautiful property. Okay, so you're going to say, well, what happened here? Right. I really did like this. I wanted this one. We offered £76,400. So the asking price was £80,000. I offered 76.4, and I was surprised to hear that I was the highest offer. However, even though I was the highest offer for this property, I still didn't get it because apparently the vendor had some conscience. And they said, no, we don't want to sell to the evil developer. We want to sell to a first-time buyer. So the first-time buyer who came in below me, he got this property. And this one really bugs me because this would have been a great deal. I would have left something like £24,000 in the deal, and the property would have valued up to around £100,000. Beautiful property, beautiful street. So remember, now I am the highest bidder because I was learning to make sure that my bids would hit their target. So I was understanding the market better. I still lost out, even though I was the highest bidder. And the agent, by the way, told me it was an emotional decision they made. While editing the video, I noticed that I kept making reference to how nice the street was. So I just thought I'd give a bit of background to this. Now, when you're looking for a property to buy, especially for buy to let, you want to make sure that you buy a decent house, even the worst house, but on the best street, because you can't change the street. If the street is really bad, it's got bad neighbors, it looks dirty, etc., you can't change that. But if the street is nice but the property is in bad condition, you can definitely change the property itself. So that's why the adage is buy the worst house on the best street. And that's end of part 1. I've decided to split this up into multiple parts because the planned video was turning out to be so long and it was taking a long time to edit. I just thought I'd split it up into 2 parts, hopefully, maybe 3. But in part 2, I'm going to show you even more offers that were made, some crazy reasons for rejection. We also had an offer that was accepted, then it was unaccepted, and the agent messed me around a bit, and then I ended up getting ill for a couple of days. I took a break for about 1 week because of that. There's more to come. This is not a straightforward, simple story. So I'll see you later in part 2, and don't forget to like and subscribe the video so that you don't miss the second part to this story.